What's up, guys? It's Benny. Go home to mommy is a classic call sign for President Trump when a liberal protester is causing a ruckus at his rallies. And we just had the J.D. Vance version of that happen in Washington, D.C. As you know, the Trump administration is cleaning up Washington, D.C., which is a crime-riddled, rat-infested hellscape, failed narco state, effectively. And now that the government has sent in the National Guard and has taken over Washington, D.C. police and has brought in federal agents along with ICE agents and park police, D.C. is a pristine city that has seen collapses in all manner of crimes and 500 arrests, according to the FBI. Now, there's a reporter who noticed that there were Secret Service snipers on top of Union Station today. Now, this is something that even if you're putting Humvees at Union Station, which they did do, that's something that is very rare. Why would there be Secret Service snipers on top of Union Station? This is, of course, the main train station in Washington, D.C. You can see, sorry for the slow load there. You can see here the snipers atop the building. Now, that is rare. The reason why was because J.D. Vance, Vice President, visiting Washington, D.C. to observe what's going down, baby, the cleanup, along with Pete Hegseth and Stephen Miller, Deputy Chief of Staff. Vice President J.D. Vance, Secretary Hegseth, and Stephen Miller arrive at Union Station to check in on the progress in Washington, D.C., and also to give a little pep talk to the troops at a burger joint. They bought hamburgers for the National Guard troops stationed there, and everybody got a chance to say, well, great job in cleaning up our nation. This administration will always have the backs of our service members. We'll restore the beauty, honor, and greatness of Washington, D.C., the Department of Defense officially says. Breaking, J.D. Vance and Secretary Hegseth have arrived in Union Station to personally thank the National Guard troops, and they did that to the man. We wanted to bring you guys some burgers. We know you guys bust your asses all day. We'll give you a hamburger. Not a fair trade, but we're grateful for everything that you guys do. The administration loves our troops. So it was a beautiful thing to see, but there were some people that weren't happy about it. There were protesters that were tipped off to this official visit and decided to lose their minds on J.D. Vance as he walked through the hall in Union Station. And if you've been there, it is a particularly beautiful hall. It's a particularly beautiful building. And J.D. Vance decided to troll those protesters to their faces. Here's what they did as J.D. Vance walked through.
You Pete, f***ing Nazis!
In housing! In climate justice!
Fuckers!
Get the
Off my city!
So it's a big, Union Station is a massive public area. And so obviously these individuals were not happy with them being there. Here's another angle of that.
Oh look! It's Couch Fucker! You gonna fuck a couch, buddy?
Right here. Do not go past streets.
There's another one right out there! Listen, Go fuck the couch! Go fuck the couch, J.D. Vance! Go fuck the couch!
All right. So this is just the classic, psychotic, mentally unstable, deeply unhappy, self-loathing nature of the left. J.D. Vance went straight to their faces and trolled them. Listen to this.
This is the guy who thinks people don't deserve law and order in their own community.
Mr. Vice President, how did it go?
Guys, thank you.
And ladies and gentlemen, J.D. Vance getting the last laugh as he pep talked the troops inside of Union Station and showed just like what a dude he is, right? J.D. Vance himself served. He was deployed to Iraq. He was in the Marines. He knows how to get along, right? How to talk the talk. Here throughout all of the clips of J.D. Vance, the booing and the screaming from outside.
Rodriguez, how we doing, man? Hey, good to meet you, man. Hey guys, take it easy. How y'all doing? Good to meet you, man. I appreciate you. Good to meet you. Hey, how you doing?
Such miserable people.
God bless you, man. Rodriguez, how we doing, man? Hey, good to meet you, man. Yeah, here we go. That's good. Hey guys, take it easy. How y'all doing? Good to meet you, man. I appreciate you. Yeah, good to meet you. Hey, how you doing? All right, thank you. I appreciate
But the absolute winner of the day was certainly Stephen Miller, who gave a speech that broke the internet, talking about how embarrassing all of the protesters were outside while they were screaming, effectively doing it right to their face. While at Union Station, Stephen Miller just destroyed the leftist protesters that are yelling at the troops. We're going to ignore these stupid white old hippies. They need to go home and take a nap because they're all over 90 years old. Saying we're going to take back D.C. and protect the citizens of D.C. Here's Stephen Miller.
Thank you. And first of all, thank you to the Vice President for bringing us here today. Thank you, Secretary, for your leadership. And most importantly, thank you to the men and women of the National Guard. I think here's the most important point. There are residents who lived in Washington, D.C. their entire lives. Their parents lived here. Their grandparents lived here. And they have lived for generations in intolerable conditions of crime and decay. There are parts of the city, I moved to the city 20 years ago. There are places where I've seen graffiti that has been untouched for 2 decades. There are homeless encampments that have made it impossible for families to use public parks and public recreation for as long as I've lived here. There are hundreds of residents of this city who are shot in street violence every single year, making it one of the most violent cities on planet Earth. And for too long, 99% of this city has been terrorized by 1% of the city. And the voices that you hear out there, those crazy communists, they have no roots. They have no connections to the city. They have no families they are raising in this city. They have no one that they are sending to school in this city. They have no jobs in this city. They have no connections to this community at all. But they're the ones who've been advocating for the 1%, the criminals, the killers, the rapists, the drug dealers. And I'm glad they're here today. Because me, Pete, and the Vice President are all going to leave here, and inspired by them, we're going to add thousands more resources to this city to get the criminals and the gang members out of here. We're going to dismantle those networks, and we're going to prove that a city can serve for the law-abiding citizens who live there. We are not going to let the communists destroy a great American city, let alone the nation's capital. And let's just also address one other thing. All these demonstrators that you've seen out here in recent days, all of these elderly white hippies, they're not part of the city and never have been. And by the way, most of the citizens who live in Washington, D.C. are black. This is not a city that has had any safety for its black citizens for generations. And President Trump is the one who is fixing that with the support of the Metropolitan Police Department, the support of the National Guard, and our federal law enforcement officers. So we're going to ignore these stupid white hippies that all need to go home and take a nap because they're all over 90 years old, and we're going to get back to the business of protecting the American people and the citizens of Washington, D.C.
Thank you, Stephen. A few questions.
J.D. Vance obviously ending this trip with a power play here. J.D. Vance roasts leftist protester harassing National Guard troops. Kind of bizarre that a bunch of old white people are out there protesting the policies that keep people safe when they have never felt danger in their entire lives. We know that the left often rents mobs and brings in people who aren't residents of a place, who aren't actually citizens. We saw this phenomenon with Kamala Harris's campaign. And here's J.D. Vance calling them out. People are screaming, free D.C. Let's free D.C. from lawlessness, free D.C. from the highest murder rates in the world. Let's free Washington, D.C. so young people can walk around and feel safe and secure. It's a beautiful message. Here we go.
The entire world. Let's free Washington, D.C. so that young families can walk around and feel safe and secure. That's what we're trying to free D.C. from. And as Stephen said, it's kind of bizarre that we have a bunch of old, primarily white people who are out there protesting the policies that keep people safe when they've never felt danger in their entire lives.